Well, it started as just an extra way to keep people safe. And now only 4.5 years later, the idea of having police walking specific beats around our area seems to be working. One Green Bay team is even receiving the highest international award given for this type of law enforcement. That's this weekend. But what does this all mean for you? Are our neighborhoods a safer place to be? Well, take a look. This is May 1995. In an exclusive story that you saw here, I am the first Green Bay reporter to walk a beat with a new breed of officers called community police. And as we start a series of Fox 11 Extras, tonight we take a look back at one very troubled Green Bay neighborhood, and we check in on its progress.
Reference to a possible disturbance.
Just looking around and just seeing, you know, that this is like totally out of control, and just feeling like that we were out of control.
Well, I can hear yelling and screaming.
Just walking around and thinking, you know, why is this way? And why hasn't anyone done anything about this?
November 1993. Scenes like this are common. It's a shooting this time, but reports of beatings, muggings, robberies, and stabbings litter police records. Welcome to Broadway, Green Bay.
When I first started here, I used to be scared just to walk out of my car.
At the time, Pachia Stangy was trying to run a grocery store amongst the chaos. It wasn't an easy thing to do.
It used to be very unsafe. I used to call her, close the store early, don't stay late.
It's getting a bad rap.
Back then, others disagreed, citing the transient as the troublemakers. But was there a solution, or was Broadway truly lost forever?
I'll be doing some surveys.
Bring in this idea, police officers out of their cars and walking the street. We were the only station allowed to attend these early brainstorming meetings.
Got the officers just to believe in that you're going to allow them to do what you say that they're going to do, and introduce them to the neighbors.
Sheriff Tom Hins was the city's acting police chief then. He'd walked this beat in the 70s and saw the need to bring the concept back quick.
Once they really believe that they can go out and make a difference, it might take a little accountability and more visibility than you normally have had, working behind the scenes, a lot of things. Officers get cranked into that.
5 officers dispersed to 3 different neighborhoods. Bill Bongle is among them, and he's assigned to Broadway.
They called me, they said, you know, that I had Broadway. And I said, well, I signed for it, so now I'm going to take it.
Take it, he did. We've been able to follow along with his first partner, Mike Hansford, as criminals were stopped literally before they got down the street.
Mark up people's property like this, because they like to scare people into thinking that they're going to take it over. And we're just going to let them know that they aren't going to do it. This is our neighborhood.
Kids were even given lessons on being a good neighbor.
We got all those neighborhood people involved in the businesses and everybody that was a stakeholder here until those people got their foot in and, you know, had their voice heard. That's when things started to roll.
Steve Scully then came on board. Troubled bars and bad businesses fold under pressure.
Making people more responsible, you know, the liquor laws and establishments around here had to become more responsible for their actions.
Checking police records, calls to this area are down 60%. And when you talk to the business owners, they're glad about that, but so too are the people who live here.
It's a shame that we need a visibility that much of police, you know, to keep neighborhoods down, but whatever works, works.
Bob Pleckelman's seen the ups and downs of living in the Broadway area. He moved his family here in 1972 and often thought of leaving. Today, he's glad he didn't.
You got a few undesirables, but you got that anywhere, any city, any neighborhood you go to, and we can keep that under control by watching out for each other.
And if that's now all it takes, it means those who have worked hard to bring Broadway back to glory are doing their job.
I remember back to the time where there used to be people that were shot and stabbed, and now, you know, now it's a thriving place where families and people come, and I can look back and think that, you know, we played a role in that, and that's a good thing.
Now, the past couple of years also bringing record numbers of new and renovated businesses and more homeowners to the Broadway area. Tomorrow night, we'll follow that neighborhood's beat cop officers for a night on the street. Is it really that okay? Well, we'll show you right here at 9 o'clock. Tom? Did you know the world's best beat cops are right here in our area? Green Bay's community policing team of officers Bill Bongle and Steve Scully are receiving the top award given for their job this weekend. Now, as we showed you right here last night, their specific beat is the Broadway area. Past couple of years, new and renovated businesses are showing up in record numbers, and more people are buying homes rather than renting. Have the officers helped with that process? In tonight's Fox 11 Extra, come along as we follow the guys walking their beat.
I'm proud of these business people. I'm proud of the neighborhood people that stuck it out when times were hard. They had faith in us and they believed in us.
And in just 4.5 years, that belief in officers Bill Bongle and Steve Scully has turned this neighborhood back to glory. Welcome to the new Broadway, Green Bay.
Feels like a different place than it was 2 years ago. It's nice to walk down there, and nice to see a lot of families down there walking now, and see a lot of friendly faces.
And this friendly place is where those Green Bay community officers spend their time patrolling on foot.
Thank you.
If you're wondering how that makes a difference, we found out during our night on the beat. It's this.
Anything going on with the parking now?
One-on-one contact, getting the officers into the neighborhood to learn what's going on. It's meant being able to make changes too, everything from closing up troubled bars to drug house busts.
You know, you really see things differently when you're out on foot and meeting with people and talking with them. Their concerns and their priorities were totally different from mine. And I realized that, you know, if we're going to work and make this neighborhood better, then we're going to have to get on board with what those people think.
I feel pretty good that they have been doing a really good job in watching over the street, and all the clients been, you know, the criminals or whatever, you don't see much anymore.
This is where the latest project for the beat cops once stood. It was an adult bookstore, and as you can see, it is now gone. Police arrested 10 people in a sting and closed the business down.
It's really started to come back. And I think that it's a very nice neighborhood to bring a family up again.
And Bob Pleckelman isn't the only area resident supporting the beat cops in their efforts.
This one is for my children. Woo!
This is home video of that adult bookstore as neighbors show up to knock it down. The sledgehammers signify the changes in an area that's seen its share of struggles. Meanwhile, our night with the officers is over, and it's been a quiet shift, something they tell me isn't rare anymore.
We're out there meeting with the neighborhood people and taking care of the problems of that particular neighborhood, and it's actually a pretty nice place down here.
This is a place where I can bring my family now, and I can walk here, and we can feel safe here. And that's, to a policeman, there's no better feeling than that.
Okay, and how about this? For boosting that feeling, we checked out police records on all the calls to the Broadway area. The number is down by almost 60% from just a couple of years ago. Still to come, we're heading out to San Diego this weekend to find out how this beat cop team was picked for the top international award. So Monday night, right here at 9 o'clock, we'll show you the award ceremony, and we'll tell you how folks from all around the world are learning what is working to stop crime in Green Bay.
Well, with robberies like these going on right here in northeast Wisconsin, it may make you wonder, how safe can you feel in your own neighborhood? Well, 9 teams of community police just in the Green Bay area are hoping that they are making a difference. And one of those teams has been honored for doing the best job in the world of helping their community. In a story you'll only see here on Fox 11, Terry Barr shows us how these officers are being rewarded in San Diego and why it may be just the start of a safer place for you.
It's kind of like the Super Bowl of police work. I'm just grateful for all the people that helped us out.
It's a moment Bill Bongle and Steve Scully only hoped would happen during their careers. The 2 Green Bay community policing officers are being named the world's best. Past couple of years, this team has walked their beat, the Broadway area. As we've been showing you, they've worked with the neighborhood to cut down the crime. An international panel of judges thinks they're doing such a good job, they're picked for the highest honor given beat cops, the Herman Goldstein Award.
They were committed, absolutely committed to finding a successful solution to the problems they were facing.
Everybody back there can take credit for it, especially the people in our neighborhood, because they're the ones that we worked for the whole time, and they're the ones that were kind of our catalyst behind us and kept us going. If they wouldn't have wanted it, it probably wouldn't have gotten done.
Their families are with them in San Diego for this International Problem-Solving Police Conference. So are their bosses, Lieutenant Andy Lewis and Chief James Lewis.
So many communities have accepted a certain level of crime, a certain amount of apathy in that area. I came into Green Bay at a time when people were saying, no, not acceptable here, we're not going to have it. And so we've had this outpouring of community support.
But the world's best aren't getting a lot of time to enjoy the award. Now they're teaching other police officers what's working in Green Bay and how it might work for them too.
These are the kind of people I want policing my community. They're really committed, conscientious people.
And the officers show off some pretty impressive numbers. 400 new jobs, 33 new businesses, and crime down 60% in the Broadway area.
You know, we're not a couple of super guys, you know, we're two street cops who went out there in the neighborhood and worked with some people. These things can and will happen in other communities.
And now the world is hearing how it happened on Broadway. In San Diego, I'm Terry Barr, Fox 11 News.
Terry also tells us the Green Bay beat cops beat out hundreds of others for the honor. And we've learned that because of their success, several more teams of Green Bay officers will be asked to walk a beat to try to repeat the same success in other troubled neighborhoods.